If it tweaks me, it's for me. See, now I'm not even dealing with whether those comments are right or wrong or just or unjust or kind or unkind. That's a whole nother message and another theme for another month. I'm just listening for, does it tweak me? Because I'm looking for gold. I notice as life gets on, things move faster. I need the gold now. I'm just listening. Does it tweak me? I'm looking for the gold because on one hand, I notice I want the war in the world to come to an end, but I can't even prevent myself from having warlike thoughts in moments like this. War is terrible in the world, but inside here it's fine. Yeah? So I notice I can be in denial about that. About the warlike nature of my inner world. I can say it's all out there. It's the fault with those warmongers, you know. And the cost of being in such denial is that I start to then develop a belief in a world in which I am helpless. And then so slowly, because it's not my fault, I then have to build a case for battle. It's not my fault. And so without examining what's going on inside, then I could be tempted to deal with what's going on outside the world of effects. I might be tempted to think things about these people who said things to me. World of effects. I might want to carefully construct a phrase that is carefully polite enough to hide the slap that's disguised in it. You know what I mean? The world of effects. I might get busy in there. But I notice that's less and less an option because, you know what? I find that I believe some of the things that I learn here. I really believe that I exist in a friendly universe that is for me. Well, then how are these things for my highest good? How are they? Oh, God, you know, there are tough things in the world, tough experiences, and I don't recommend starting with one of those, because I can barely navigate around ordinary tweaking situations, you know. So I start there. Start right there, you know. So she says, oh, so you're not 30. I notice it tweaks me. So then I notice also it's true. Now I have the opportunity. Now I can agree with the truth of the statement and step away from making analysis and opinions about the person delivering it. Now I can face, what am I telling myself about my age? What am I not telling myself? Now I've got the gold. And it's all thanks to the home delivery service of the friendly universe that brought it right to my doorstep. Thank you. Or he says, you're not connected to your heart. I notice I'm tweaked. Well, then let me go inside and let me find a couple of ways where that's true. And if I sit still, I can see ways that could be true. I can see sometimes when I'm not. I can see sometimes when I'm so afraid of intimacy that I withhold myself and I don't really show up. I can see, if I really look inside, I can see how sometimes I hide my true feelings because I'm so afraid of them, of what they will cause. And then when things like this are happening, then I show up in a way that's disconnected and not genuine. Or I hide behind humor. I can see how it's true. Now I can agree with the truth of the statement and step away from analyzing the person. Who does he think he is? Yes, it's true. So why attack the gentleman who's delivering it to me? Probably because I don't want what he said to be true. And I already know it is. Sometimes. And I thought nobody else knew. And I was hoping everyone would just keep on the pretense with me. Which brings us right back to that challenge of just how difficult it is to change anything in consciousness when you and I will not acknowledge what is inside there. And consciousness is cause. What's inside there? Consciousness is cause. What's inside there? Because if I make it all about what's outside there, I'm back to moving furniture. This will look better here. I might even end up praying for the gentleman to go away. I might be praying for him to be different. I might be praying for him to have more respect. I might be praying for him to see me as I truly am. He did. And so instead, then, I can pray to be more in my heart, just like I always wanted. You see? Inside, consciousness is cause. Outside, forms are effect. 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 You know? Last week I asked a question of myself. I invited you to ask the same question of yourself. You know, what is your current excuse for not doing what you should be doing for your life? And oh man, that question's been messing with me. Because I've started to remember the value of telling myself the truth. Oh, there's no sweeter, safer place in the universe than coming clean with yourself. That's where it is. Come clean with yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Come clean with yourself. And I'm remembering the high price of doing the opposite. I mean, let's make up an example, for example. Make-believe example. See if it relates to you. Maybe you've got something just like it. So you start to have headaches and you feel dizzy. So you go to the doctor. And she asks you if you've been smoking, and you say no. You don't want it on your record. Besides, she's the family doctor, and you've known her for a long time, and you don't want her to lose respect for you, but you are smoking a lot. So she carries on, and she says, what's your drinking habits like? And you say, oh, now and then. But it's really every day. Now, what are the chances that the doctor's strategy for your healing will be negatively influenced by the absence of real information? And imagine if you're doing the same thing to yourself, with yourself. Or let's make up another make-believe situation. You hear about the Center for Spiritual Living, so you get on the phone and you call the office and you speak to the receptionist and you say to him, I've heard about the Center for Spiritual Living and I'd really like to come there. I think there's something there for me. And he says, well, all right, let me give you directions. Where do you live? And for some reason you're embarrassed about the neighborhood you live in, so you say, I live in Fountain Grove. So he begins to give you directions that turn out to be not so helpful. Because now you have to manipulate them to get where you want to go. And it turns out it takes you twice as long to get there because your point of departure was never acknowledged. Now imagine if you're doing the same to yourself with yourself. Not saying where you really are. Do you know, when I first started in metaphysics, I found things moved really fast. Spiritual mind treatment, everything, things moving. I was open, ready, on, and then slowly it slowed down.